Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Shelley, and I am the manager of the Writers Contest. And I am joined today with Joe Wos, cartoonist and the creator of the Cartoon Academy on WQED. He's also the host. So thank you so much. We're excited this year because we've kind of gotten a new look. And for the first time ever, we have a theme, which is Write My Future. So what we want you to do is to think about what you would like to be when you grow up. And there are a million things that you could be. You could be an astronaut. You could be a cartoonist. You may even want to be a professional ballerina. So it's up to you. We appreciate you coming to our website, and you will find papers here, forms that you can click on. We have our entry form, and we also have the rules. And then we also have the past winners, and we're delighted to just share this experience with you. So Joe would like to talk to you about the importance of illustrating, kind of how the illustrations in a story bring the story, ties the story together, brings it all to life. And when you enter the contest, you do write a story and you also do illustrations. So the illustrations are a very important part. So I am going to turn it over to Joe right now. Joe?
All right. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm coming to you live from my studio here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. As you can see, it's a little bit of a mess, but I've always got lots of projects going on. Today, I'm going to teach you how to draw a few things, but also to talk to you about the importance of illustration. You see, there's an old saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And that's because pictures can help eliminate some of what is called exposition. Exposition is all the explaining you have to do before you can really get into a story. You know, if you're telling a story, you might want to say, that there's a little boy who wore a red shirt and he had blonde hair and he could run very fast and he had these really cool sneakers. There's a lot of stuff you could say in words. But if you just draw that in a picture, it's all there. It's about learning how to trust your reader or trust your audience to infer or understand just from looking at the picture. They're able to really gather a lot of information. And that's what we do as storytellers. We're sharing information before we can tell the story. So today I'm going to show you a couple of things that go into creating a scene. We're going to have two characters. And since we're learning about the future, I thought I would do a very futuristic scene of an astronaut on a robot, perhaps on the moon or some strange planet somewhere. We'll have to find out. Now, I'm going to show you a little bit about how I work first. I draw on what is called a Wacom Cintiq tablet. You can see it's this computer tablet right here, but I use what's called a stylus or a pen, just like that. It has a felt tip, and it's just like drawing on paper. Okay, it's just like drawing on paper for me, but I work digitally. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen now. And you should see that nice blank white screen. And we're going to begin with our first character, an astronaut. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a circle. All drawings break down into basic lines, shapes, numbers, and letters, things that you already know. Now we've got that circle. We're going to add another circle around the outside of that circle, but we're going to leave a little gap there at the bottom. Okay. So we've got a circle and then a partial circle. And then I want you to put a line down like this and like this. And then we're going to connect those two. You see, that's going to give us a helmet. Now we're going to draw the character, the face of the character inside that helmet. Now, whenever you're drawing a face, it's important that they show emotion. Emotion is how a character feels, and it tells us some very important things about our story. Are they excited? Are they frightened? Are they happy? Are they sad? We show that through the facial expression, primarily the eyes, eyebrows, and mouth. Our character is going to be pretty happy. So we have an oval, another oval, and then two little letter O's like that. Now that tells us something important because notice the eyes are looking off to the side. That means he's looking at something else or interacting with it. Now for the nose. And then the smile. Dash, line over and dash, and a dash underneath. Now, we see the whole head with inside the helmet, so we're going to add a little bit of hair here at the top. Line down, line down. Letter C backwards, letter C for ears. Line down and connect, down and connect. And then we have a little bit of hair on the side here. Scribble that in. Good. A little bit of detail. We just have a line for the inside of the ear, line for the inside of the ear, like that. There we go. We've got the head inside of the helmet. Now we're going to add the body. We're going to start with the arms. We're going to come out, down, and in. Out, down, and in. Our character is mostly symmetrical. Symmetrical means whatever is on the left is on the right in sort of a mirror image, okay? So if we were to draw a line right down the middle of the character, left and right would be very similar. Line over and down, line over and down. And then we're going to add the hand, which is in a glove. We're going to make him holding something. So I'm going to show you a little trick. We're going to draw the thumb first. And then we're going to draw 3 little squares since he's wearing gloves. It looks like this. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3, and then in. That makes it look like the fingers are curled and gripping. We're going to make him holding a wrench because he's going to be helping out his robot friend. Draw the wrench, we come up, around, over, letter U, over, around, and down. There he is holding a wrench. Now for the other hand. The other hand is open. So we just draw a thumb, and then 1, 2, 3 fingers, and in. Right. Now for the body. Down, down, a line across, another line across. Then we're going to turn that into sort of a belt. So we're going to add a line here and here. And then a line here and here, here, and here. On the chest plate, we're going to put a little control box. This is just part of a design to make it look interesting. So we just draw sort of a little square like this, and then a larger square around it. And then just some, little lights and knobs and dashes and whatever you think looks fun. Okay. Now for the legs, come out, over, at an angle, up, over, down at an angle, up at an angle, and connect. Okay, that gives us the first part of the legs. Now we're going to add a little triangle in here with a zigzag. See, it's a little triangle, but it's got a zigzag at the end. It's almost like a slice of cheese, doesn't it? And then a little lines just right there to show the fold and the crease. We just want to have a little bit of elastic in there. Now we're going to add the boots. We're going to start with a rectangle. And a rectangle. And then down, over, up, round, and up. Okay. Let's do the same thing on the other foot. Down, over, up, round, and up. Almost done with this. I'm going to add just a little bit of a layer onto the bottom of that boot there. Just like this. Okay. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to add sort of a power pack onto the back there. To do that, it's really easy. We're just going to add a line here and then down and in. So here and down, down and in. And this is where his air supply is coming. So we're going to draw a little rectangle and then a tube and a rectangle and then the other side of that tube. Good. Add some little lines on there just to add a little bit of design, and then maybe a line across on the helmet. And then I'm going to add a little antenna here too, I think. It's just a little rectangle. There we go. All right. So we've got our first character down. Now in stories, characters have relationships. Relationships are how one or more characters interact with one another. You and your best friend is a kind of relationship. You and your parents, you and your pets, you and the chair you're sitting on right now. Anything, anyone you interact with in cartoons or in storytellings is called a relationship. So we're going to give him a friend. We're going to give him a robot friend. All right. So our robot, we're going to start with the head. We're going to have a rectangle. Good. We're going to add a little bit of depth to that. We're going to add the side of his head right here. Look there. Good. Now let's add the eyes. We're going to add a circle and a circle. The pupils, we're going to make a little more rectangular. And for his mouth, he has a speaker, but we want it to be shaped like a mouth. So we're going to draw a shape like this, which is kind of a hot dog shape. And then just 1, 2, 3 lines. Now his eyebrows go up and down, but they're on a hinge. Eyebrows are important to give expression to a character. So we had a little dot and then we add the eyebrow. So there's a little dot right there and then the eyebrows. I think on top of his head, I'm going to give him a light bulb. But you could add an antenna or anything at all you want. I'm just going to add a little light. So it's rectangle, some lines around, and then inside of that, a letter Y, and then just a couple little lines to show that it's lighting up. Good. Now he probably has some little bolts or rivets holding them all together. Those are just quick little dots. Now for the neck, we're going to add a rectangle and then a square with some lines at an angle on it. Good. And then for the base of the neck, another rectangle. Now for the body. Line over, down, over, up, and in. Good job. Now for the arms. We're going to add a rectangle and a rectangle to form the sockets for where the arms are going to come out. For the arms, we're going to bend a line down, out, in, letter U, over and up. Now we're going to add a little bit of depth to that too. We're just going to add a little line here like that, and then add a circle. Okay, good. The other hand is saying hello to his friend. Same thing, line up, over, letter U, over and back. Little circle there and some depth. Now we're going to add some lines onto there. This is just texture. Texture is how something feels when you touch it. We want to feel like this has little metallic ridges to it. Very good. Now we're not going to give him legs. We're going to give him a wheel. So we're going to draw another rectangle. Down, line out, over, around, up, and connect. Now for that wheel. The wheel is just a circle with a circle inside, and then you just sort of color that in like that. There we go. Let's add some little, just some light bulbs and switches. And again, similar to how we did the chest plate over here, it can be anything at all. Whatever you think looks fun. That's up to you. It's your robot, not mine. So you can always make changes to the drawing. I think maybe we'll give him antennas too. So I'm going to add a little rectangle here and here. And then that's going to be the antennas. Good. All right. We've got two characters. We've got a relationship, a friendship. We have a problem. The robot needs help. And our friend astronaut is going to help fix the robot. Last thing we need to add some setting. Setting tells us where or when the story takes place. Now, with an astronaut, a robot, I think our story should take place somewhere in outer space. So the first we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of ground surface here. We want it to sort of look like, maybe the moon. So we're going to add some craters. It's real scribbly because we want it to look, real rough and rocky like the surface of the moon. Okay, now that helps, but we also need to add a little bit of background. The background can give us some more hints as to where they are. And we want to show that they're in outer space. So what are some things we could add to the sky in the background? Well, we want to show they're on the moon. So maybe off in the distance, we see the planet Earth. That tells us that the Earth is nearby, so it's probably our moon. What else do you see in the night sky? Maybe some stars? And you just need to do enough to hint at where they are. You're giving clues when you're a storyteller, and when you're illustrating, you're giving clues to things like where they are and what's happening. So there we go. There is our outer space scene featuring two characters, a problem, a solution, emotion, and a friendship. It all helps tell the story. A picture is worth 1,000 words. I'm going to switch back so I can talk a little bit more about what we're doing here today. So I hope you enjoyed learning how to draw those characters. You can draw anything your heart desires. You want your characters to be based on, the story that you're telling. So if you're telling a story about a rabbit, obviously you would draw a rabbit, but think a little bit deeper. Think about how that character feels. Think about who they really are. Think about the design, what they wear, how they dress, the things they hold or use are all visual clues that'll help you when you illustrate your story. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation today. My name again is Joe Wos. You can learn a lot more at Cartoon Academy on WQED. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Joe. You almost make that look easy.
It's
I know
easy. It just takes practice.
I know it's not easy at all, but I think that will help a lot of children out there. So again, the writers contest is currently open. It is for grades K through 3, and we will take stories that are postmarked up through March 15th. And we hope that you have learned some things on here today, and that we maybe have gotten your creativity moving a little bit today. So remember, the future is yours, and you can be anything that you want to be. And we cannot wait to get your submissions. Thank you.